Hi guys, so this one wasn't supposed to be on the list of things that I would discuss in this course, but I just want to add it in so that you guys understand that there is this functionality in MYOB, and if you ever really need to use it, it's available. When we go under lists, we have multiple functionalities in here that we won't really go through later in the course. So I just want to give you a brief understanding of those functions in MYOB. The first one is activities. Activities in MYOB are basically used for time tracking. Let's say, for example, you are a service organization. Let's say you provide resources for one customer. You can actually create multiple activities if you bill the client per activity. For example, if your business is a law firm and you have consultations, you can create an activity. Let's say the activity code is CON-1, consult-1, and the activity name is marriage consultation. You can put your description in there. Let's say this is your income account and this is the tax account, and you charge per hour, and it's chargeable to your customer. You can choose to use either the employee billing rate or the customer billing rate. For example, if you look at the employee billing rate, the bill rate will be per employee, not per customer. So let's say you bill time for one employee, or if you want to consolidate all the employee time per customer, you can also do that. So if you create this job activity, let's say you go through time and billing, you have the activities in here. If you enter an activity slip, let's say you're meeting a client and you want to track the hours, you can actually create, for example, the card as one of your customers. There's a slip ID number that's automated, and let's say the activity is marriage consultation. You'll see the units in here, the rate, let's say $50 per hour, and you can put in the start time and the stop time and the time elapsed. This will all compile into one billing for one client, and then you can actually prepare an invoice for all the time that you had a consultation with that client so that you can send that invoice from MYOB to your client directly. That's how you use activities. Another one is items. Items in MYOB are mainly used for inventory. You can see in here, because we don't use MYOB for selling inventory, but when you click New, you can create items. For example, if your business sells packaged foods, you can create an item number and the name of the item, and you can use that to count your inventory. When you sell something, you can then go to your sales function. When you go to sales, you can enter a sale, and when you look at this, you can change how this looks by going to layout. Let's say, for example, your business is a service business where you provide services, so you don't need to have items. But if you put items in here, how MYOB will look will be different, because it will then need to have ship, back order, the item number that you created earlier, its price, discount, total, job, and tax rate. Let's say, for example, you choose professional. This will also change based on what kind of services you are providing, miscellaneous or time and billing, so it can change based on how you want it to be, but this is specific to MYOB account right. This flexibility is only available in account right and not in MYOB business. When you look in here, there's nothing that shows items. So that's something that you need to create in MYOB account right, and then that's the time that you can use it in MYOB business. There is something like this in here, but it's not as flexible as the one in account right. Another thing in lists is cost centers. Cost centers are mostly used for organizations who have consolidated accounting and who want to track costs and income per transaction for different businesses. For example, we have a cost center. Most commonly, the cost center is used for, let's say, FIN for finance. And let's have two examples. Marketing, say MARK. This one is marketing. This is useful if your organization tracks spending per division of the organization. For example, if you want to create a new bill, you can put a new purchase. Let's say for this supplier, you can see the account number, amount 500, the job number, and the cost center in here. You can find the cost center in here and identify whether, for example, this cost is for finance. Then you can click finance there. Later on, you can actually extract all the transactions that have finance in their cost center, and you can then use it for reporting. Just knowing that all of this information is available in MYOB if there is a requirement, it would be great that you know all these functions are available. Though we won't go through them very thoroughly, it's important that you understand the principle behind these functions. So these functions, activities, items, cost centers, it doesn't matter that we use them, but at least you know what they are there for. See you guys in the next video.